Tak, została nam minuta, oglądamy na żywo Meta Quest Gaming Showcase. Jak sama nazwa wskazuje, powinny być gry. Czy wiemy, ile to będzie trwało? Na co liczymy? Realnie na gry, które już są, żeby dostały wersje VR-owe. Tyle. Nie chcemy żadnych, ale to oczywiście są życzenia ściętej głowy. Co? Wszystkie gry, które się dzisiaj, nawet te, które się pierwszy raz, mają wystartować w ciągu najbliższego roku. Okej. Ryzyko, że się posuną, bo to jest wyzwanie zrobić grę, bo już mądre osoby już nie pracują w branży, bo była zbyt dojeżdżała. Mamy fajne gry, które są i nie pokażą się w dzisiejszym programie. Jeśli ich nie widzicie i czekacie, to tam siedźcie na tyłkach, podzielimy się w ciągu roku. Fajnie, fajnie. Okej. Czego bym sobie życzył w Dzień Dziecka? To nie dotyczy mnie, tak? Jeden dzień w roku możemy mieć dzieci, tak? Ja mam pozostałe. Z mleko? Ciekawe. To chyba nie zniknie niestety. Czy to są spoilery? Moment.
Welcome everyone. Third annual MetaQuest Gaming Showcase. I'm thrilled to be back hosting, and it's a big day. This morning, Mark Zuckerberg shared that our MetaQuest 3, our next-gen VR headset, is launching later this year. MetaQuest 3 is our follow-up to MetaQuest 2 and will feature advanced tech that opens up new possibilities in both VR and MR. It will also be backwards compatible with Quest 2's entire library of over 500 games and apps. Later in the show, we'll explore Oculus Studios' biggest and most immersive game ever with a gameplay deep dive. A game that will take advantage of MetaQuest 3's cutting-edge hardware. We have way more to share when MetaQuest 3 releases, including specs, more apps and experiences, and a whole slate of groundbreaking MR content. These are all stepping stones toward our long-term vision for building the metaverse. But for today's showcase, it's all about VR games. Every title you see today will be playable on both MetaQuest 2 and 3, and is currently set to launch in the next 12 months. So let's get started.
Fajnie, fajnie, dobra. Mam nadzieję, że to była najgorsza część pokazu. To była najgorsza część pokazu nami.
Are you ready?
To jest Samba de Amigo? To jest gra z Dreamcasta, albo coś innego. Ściszę to, sorry. Dobra, mamy nadzieję, tak, plebs to kupi, żeby Quest był tańszy dla nas. Jak się nazywało? Samba de Amigo VR? To nie jest 2006. Samba de Amigo to jest koniec lat 90. To jest ćwierć wieku później. Oj, nie, sio. Po co nam to? Jest jak przychodzi stary i ci opowiadał coś było w filmie. Tak, wiemy, tak?
I was a professional musician for years, and at Meta, I've gotten to work with talented teams behind a bunch of other rhythm games.
Tak, tak.
Playing Samba de Amigo
Ojciec kiedyś też grał w sambę. Boże, po co my to słyszymy? Jakie masz MMR w ogóle, albo gamer score?
When Sega brings the game to the MetaQuest store this fall. Back in February, Shell Games revealed I Expect You to Die 3, Hog in the Machine. Today, I can confirm that this third helping of Spy Hijinks, or Spyjinks, is coming to the MetaQuest store this year. Hopefully your skills haven't gotten too rusty, because this threequel will send agents on their most challenging mission yet. Confront more villainous villains, tackle more perilous perils, and expect to die a few more times.
Oh, you are either very strong or that steering wheel was not attached correctly. Dr. Roxana Prism is a former inventor for the
Wszystko gry na komórkę.
She
W sensie,
believes she can create a better agent.
Oh, hey, I'm
gdzie konkurencja
You'll
dla
either prove
Alex?
her wrong or prove her right. You're dead in that second scenario.
Once you're dead, everyone will see just how superior
Gdzie
my
San
robots are
Andreas?
to
Bo
humans.
nie, o tym się nie gada.
Hey, you found some nickel. Do it again and you'll have 10 cents.
Największą grą podobno jest ten jakiś... coś tam rad.
Every
Nie
time we
grałem w to.
encounter Agent Phoenix, we get stronger.
Check this out. We can fly now.
It's simply a matter of time and iteration.
Że lepsze to niż Job
Are you using
Simulator.
Dr. P's notes I left in
Nie, to
there?
nie jest zła
Aren't they
gra,
great?
tak? Tylko
Sometimes I
no...
look at them because they make me happy.
You don't have to play the series in order, but if you'd like to, you'll find the first 2 games bundled in the MetaQuest store for 40% off for a limited time. That's not all Shell Games is working on. They made a promise at last year's showcase.
No.
3 games over the next 2 years. Hot off the press, let me introduce you to Silent Slayer,
Tak,
Vault
2
of
years
the
I
Vampire.
promise.
Silent Slayer is a single-player horror game that'll bring you face-to-face with slumbering vampires. And as you might
Redfall
guess from the
VR.
title, stealth is key to survival. As Shell Games puts it, silence is golden, sound is death. Spooky. Let's take a peek.
To jest taki dramat, nie znasz takich pokazów. Sony jakie by nie było miało fajny pokaz.
Gently. At last. Aim for the center of the chest. And do not be gentle.
Będzie jumpscare? Nie, to jest całość, co pokazali. Ah, okej, to nie.
At last year's showcase, we revealed Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord. And then I got to drive off into the sunset in the iconic Ecto-1. For this year's show, Sony Pictures VR and nDreams put together a little dossier on the Ghost Lord himself. Who is he, and how did he get to be so mean? Along the way, we'll get a glimpse of the West Coast's first Ghostbusters HQ, some iconic San Francisco landmarks, and the spirits and specters that you'll be trapping there with your friends. Let's take a look.
Długo jeszcze, Boże, nie, mam nadzieję, że... Czekam aż ten reptylianin przyjdzie w końcu.
You think you know the whole story of the Ghostbusters. Well, you don't know my story. 1984. My research brought me to Columbia University, where I studied under the Ghostbusters. They dismissed my work, called it dangerous. But in San Francisco, I can show them, with its untapped cauldron of the undead. Where others saw fear, I saw subjects. How could I know my research would stir a dormant evil? The Ghost Lord. Alcatraz. Tortured souls, whose guilt I could drain and drain again. Their pain, the price of progress. My dear assistant Katie understands. Soon everyone will understand. Especially you, Ghostbusters, with your silly parlor tricks. You will see the progress I have made. Know the power I have harnessed. You will realize that I, Gustav Hookfather, am the genius who gave the world endless clean energy.
The Ghost Lord is coming. What have I brought upon the world? The time of the Ghost Lord is here.
Jezu, ziew. Znaczy fajnie, fajnie, no.
Check
Jezu,
this out.
nie, Boże,
The team
nie.
let me into the San Francisco Ghostbusters HQ a little early, and it's still under construction, but I've got my proton pack, my PKE meter, and I know exactly
Coś
who I'm
z
teaming
tego,
up with
nie?
to take out the Ghost Lord.
Na szczęście ją
Because if
wykluczowało,
there's one
ale
thing
to
you could
dobrze.
say about me, is that I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Jezu, kurde, w latach 90. bym oszalał, bym taki program zobaczył.
Anyway, When we asked One Hamsa, developers of Racket NX, what's something players will love about your new game, they said, you can lose an arm, then pick it back up and bash your enemies with it. There you go. Underdogs is a physics-based brawler where you wrap yourself in your 5-ton gorilla mech and rampage through New Braka, the 22nd century mech fighting capital of the world. Take on whatever the pitmasters throw your way and upgrade your mech to be even more fearsome. But remember, the more you climb the ranks, the more every lowlife in the city will be gunning for you. So get ready to claw your way up the food chain.
Czy to jest coś, czego by nam zwiastun szybciej nie pokazał, niż ona gada?
Yo, this city ain't never gonna let two bass boys like us in. Nah, this the jungle out here, bruv. If we wanna get into New Braka, we're gonna have to fight like fucking animals.
Koncepcja spoko, tylko no, to powinny być takie gierki rzucane już. To powinny być gierki rzucane jako jakiś taki ochłap, tak? Tak, to jest dobre powiedzieć, tak, gry z chipsów, no. To powinien być jakiś taki magazyn, Facebook, nie? I tam, że tam w tygodniu raz, no nie wiem, w miesiącu wychodzi darmowa gierka taka, o. I super. Jakby 20 lat temu byłoby szaleństwo, nie? Bo ładny styl graficzny i tak dalej. Już widzę w tych CD Action te nagłówki. Gra wygląda jak kreskówka. Now, co to znaczy? Która jest godzina? Do 19 jest?
At last year's show,
Co
we
tam?
revealed NFL Pro
Nie,
Era,
z Amerykanie,
the
nie.
first NFL and NFLPA
Jezu, nie.
licensed VR football sim. Since the games launched last October, you've completed over 3 million
Jakie są
NFL
słowiańskie
seasons
sporty?
and unlocked
Żeby nam
over 9
zazdrościli?
million trophies. But what's next?
Jakieś puszczanie
Here to tell
wianków?
you is
VR?
Status Pro
Nie wiem, co
president
tam.
and co-founder and former
Alkoholizm.
NFL wide receiver Andrew Hawkins.
Thanks, Ruth. Our goal last year at Status Pro was to give people the experience
Andrew
of being NFL
Hawkins.
QB1. Feeling
Ciekawe,
the
skąd
rush
ma
of stepping
pseudonim.
onto the field and leading your favorite NFL team to victory. And the positive response we got from our community was overwhelming. But that was just the beginning. Later this year, we're upping the game with the next evolution of NFL Pro Era. This year is all about showing the world what you've got. With the new version of NFL Pro Era, we're expanding multiplayer so you and your best friend can pit your favorite teams against each other and see who comes out on top. There's a world of competition out there, and we want to see how our community's QB skills stack up. We got a lot more to share, though, between now and launch. New features, new modes. This is more than a roster update. The next version of NFL Pro Era will build on last year's game in so many cool ways, and we cannot wait to get it in your hands. Check us out on social. We posted a lot of community and game updates there before we launch this fall. This is really cool, by the way.
Thanks, Hawk. All right, moving on from the field to the
Fajnie,
court.
fajnie.
Back in December, Resolution Games, creators of Blastin and Demio, revealed their latest project, Racket Club, an all-new sport designed
Jezu, będę szczery.
exclusively for VR.
To jest wszystko taki playway.
Practice your swing
W sensie,
solo,
że zbieram
play
jakichś takich
pickup
devów
matches with
biednych.
people all around the world.
Gdzie to jakieś
Or
giga
just
studia,
hang
które
out and
zatrudniali?
socialize courtside with
Tak
your
powiem, że nas
friends
rozkręci, ale
in
na
this
razie jest...
one-of-a-kind sports complex.
Na razie to jest litość
Here's a
gaming.
new look at Racket Club.
Fajne logo. Co za badminton, Boże Święty, o. To jest tak, jest Mario Tennis i Mario Tennis też nie ma zasad tenisa. Że nie powinien nazywać Mario Tennis. A, to się ma rakiet, tak? Wygląda jak czasami są te obozy koncentracyjne dla dzieci na polskich osiedlach. To jest dokładnie takie coś mogliby zainstalować. To jest coś, co by wymyślili polscy patodeweloperzy.
At our debut gaming showcase, I premiered the launch trailer for Wraith: The Oblivion Afterlife from Fast Travel Games. It was the first VR game set in the world of darkness. And today, we're diving back into the world of supernatural horror with an all-new adventure RPG, Vampire: The Masquerade Justice, which will send you to Venice.
No, ale nadzieje rosną i zaraz się dowiemy.
You are a vampire,
okay,
comfortable in the city's darkest shadows. Hide in plain sight, drink the blood of mortals, and use your vampiric abilities to become the ultimate judge of the guilty.
Rozczaruj się na 100
without
sposobów.
further ado, let's sink our teeth into the debut trailer for Vampire: The Masquerade Justice.
Więc oby byli ci goście ze zmierzchu. Moment. Ej, to będzie zwiastun z gatunku artysta się wyżywał na montażu.
Venice, Italy. Felt like I was back on square one.
Coś, co wygląda spoko w końcu, moment. Zaczyna się dobrze, moment.
Hiding in the night.
Żeby to była gra dla inteligentnych ludzi.
I didn't want to get dragged into this.
Użyli słowa
But the
RPG.
guilty must be punished. You do well to remember that. Because if you don't, I'll make things very uncomfortable for you.
Dobra, to jest na razie jedyna ciekawa gierka. Vampire Masquerade co? Justice. A wishlist now, Jezu, nie, myślałem, że
An
now,
adventure
Jezu.
that never needs to end. This one is special to
Nie.
me. It's developed
Endless
by
Runner, niech
Othergate,
zgadnę.
a studio co-founded by 4 VR veterans who I used to work with for years on the Oculus Studios team on our very first and super popular franchise, Dead and Buried.
Pierwsze słyszę.
I know firsthand that these guys are masters at making fun multiplayer games, and I am honored to announce their next project, Dungeons of Eternity. This
Pytam się,
player
że
dungeon
Carmack
crawler
zdisował
generates
Zuckerberga,
levels
że nie
from
pracuje
hundreds of
tutaj.
unique chambers, so no two trips are the same.
Okej.
We'll explore dark
Dobra.
crypts, ruined castles, and deep caverns. Battle monstrous enemies with melee and magic, solve puzzles, avoid traps,
wow.
gather loot, escape back to safety, level up, and then do it all over again in a
Okej,
brand new
Dungeon
dungeon.
Crawler
Take a
VR
look.
Extraction Game, tak? Nadzieje są wysokie. Zobaczmy. Co oni zrobili? Grają coś, to pamiętam to logo. To wygląda spoko. Że Phantom Abyss. Nie, to jest bardziej. To ma być Dungeon Crawler. Kurde, wygląda spoko. Bo z tego co rozumiem, tu ekstrakcja jest ważna jeszcze. To jest te potwory z tego, z God of War, aż mi się... Widzę te otworki w skale chodzące. To wiadomo, wygląda wszystko jak paździerz, ale może być ciekawe. Czyli, jak to się tłumaczy, lochy nieskończoności. Okej, w 2023. To już ile zostało tego roku? Parę miesięcy? Miesiąc? Tydzień?
Okay, we brought back Samba de Amigo,
Nie,
but we must have other beloved classics waiting in the wings, right?
nie chcę nic starego.
How about one of the best-selling games of the 90s?
Czemu nie 80?
An iconic mystery, maybe? Something a little spooky? Yeah, I think we have one like that.
Tajemnica statuetki. Moment, albo... 7 gość, Boże, Jezu, nie, to było tak... Jak miliony osób.
The seventh guest is mostly known for ushering in the CD-ROM era, once upon a time. But it's a great puzzle adventure game. And it's cool to see Vertigo Games and Vertigo Studios Rotterdam staying true to the original, but reimagining it for a new era. The team is using volumetric video to capture the live-action performances of actors to help tell the game's story. They're also fully recreating the iconic mansion in 3D for the first time. Just don't be surprised if it starts changing shape around you. It is haunted after all. In addition to the seventh guest, Vertigo is working on Arizona Sunshine 2, a sequel to one of the most popular games from VR's early days. This one people have been waiting to see for a long time, including me. You might have seen the CG reveal recently, but today we have another short teaser for you. Time to say hello to your old pal Freddy, and hello to a new friend as well.
Oh, what's going on, Fred? Hold up. Allow me to show you how it's done. Nice, but...
Rozda gaming.
That's gonna do. Watch and learn. What the... Get a room. You know that only counts as one.
To jest takie słabe, żeby Marek wypadł dobrze, albo wypadł normalnie, bo zaraz wejdzie
pewnie. In Arizona Sunshine 2, you'll survive the desolate waste of Arizona with your new best friend, Buddy, who you can trust to have your back, even when Freddy's are trying to take a bite out of it. Arizona Sunshine 2 launches later this year, so be sure to check out the game's extended CG reveal trailer if you haven't already. Okay. Last November, Netflix and Tenderclaws revealed that the hit series Stranger Things is coming to VR.
To było hit 5 lat temu, jeśli nie 10.
You're going to be spending a lot of time there. In this chilling psychological horror experience, you are Vecna, invading people's minds and conjuring up their worst nightmares as you look to take revenge on Eleven and her friends.
To może będzie gra na
Things
podstawie
VR comes
lostów.
to MetaQuest Store later this year. And here is a brand new trailer.
Albo z archiwum Mix, nie? Jakieś takie nowe seriale jeszcze.
I saw a means to realize my potential, to transcend my human form, to become the predator I was always born to be.
To nie jest ten potwór, z którym walczył Spider-Man? Bo się mieszają te uniwersa już na starość. Któremu też wylatywały macki z pupy i tak dalej. Wygląda fajnie, graficznie. Kurde. To też jest tak na
Next, it's time to strap into your omnidirectional mobility gear and prepare to fight the unthinkable. Attack on Titan is a best-selling manga series, acclaimed anime adaptation, and now, thanks to the team at Universe, an exhilarating VR game. Attack on Titan VR Unbreakable lets you join the Scout Regiment and go head-to-head with the Titans themselves. Swing through the air using your ODM gear and take down enemies many times your size as you try to protect the last vestiges of humankind. Some of you may already be familiar with this game because we teased it late last year, but you didn't get to see the game's dynamic, high-flying battles. Today you will.
Może nie w tym tempie. Dramat. Wygląda fajnie, w sensie podoba mi się oprawa. Tylko dlatego, że jest wszystko rozmyte na zwiastunie, do tego mi się podoba. To jest moja pierwsza gra na VR. No, może za parę lat się nauczą robić fajne prezentacje.
Back in 2011, Polish developer People Can Fly, the creators behind
Mamy to.
Outriders and Painkiller, introduced the world to skill shots.
Co? Jezu,
Blast an
nie.
enemy out of the air.
Tyle.
Skill
Jezu,
shot.
nie.
Kick him into a cactus. Skill shot.
Bullet
Crush
Storm
somebody
wróci,
under
co
a
jest
hot dog
grane?
cart. You get the idea. Now imagine how creative you could get with that system in VR. Forget imagining it. We've got it. Here's your first look at Bulletstorm in VR.
Jezu, chmielarz będzie miał na swoje burgery. Ciekawe, czy trzyma jakieś dostał jakieś tantiemy. Jezu, zemsta chmielarza z zagrobu, niesamowite. Musieli wyciąć ten. Widzę, co się dzieje. Nie ma dialogu, bo tam były same przekleństwa. Tak, pewnie chcieli zrobić jakiś fajny montaż, jak postacie coś mówią, ale tam nie było pewnie jednego zdania bez jakiegoś mięsa. Ciekawe, na co to wyjdzie jeszcze. Bo tutaj wiadomo, grafika z komórki, ale jak wyszło normalne PC, to zobaczymy. Inkuvo. Zakładam, że Inkuvo to robi. Pewnie licencja była do kupienia, nie wiem, na jakimś tym
This is the
sprzedaży.
Bulletstorm we all know and love.
Tak, wszyscy
Every
kochacie.
skill shot, every story beat fully recreated from the ground
Tej
up
gry
for
nikt nie
VR.
lubił.
And for the first time, you'll actually be able to handle an energy leash, deliver devastating blows, and mow down hordes of mutated enemies. So book your ticket to the planet Stygia for later this year. And thanks to People Can Fly and Incuvo for bringing such a fun project to life.
Fun.
Okay. Before we start talking about our final game, I know you've been waiting for an update on Assassin's Creed in VR. And I have good news. Assassin's Creed Nexus is coming to the MetaQuest store by the end of the year. Tune in to Ubisoft Forward on June 12th for the full reveal of Assassin's Creed Nexus. All right. I promised you a deep dive. Let's get into it. In 2019, Asgard's wrath took us on an epic journey across the fabled 9 realms of Norse mythology. That journey ended here, imprisoned in this very tavern by the trickster god Loki. But Destiny has more in store for you. From Sanzaru Games and Oculus Studios, this is the world premiere of Asgard's Wrath 2.
Chaos is spreading. Loki's evil invades all realms. He must be stopped. Betrayal has made you stronger, Guardian.
Stać było na piosenkę jakąś znaną. Tak, koma, dokładnie. Ciekawe, czy będziemy mieć syna do trzeciej części. Prezentacja jest w ogóle 30 FPS-ach, z tego co rozumiem. Tak, to nie jest bugą, nie? I to jest jeden z najgłupszych pomysłów. To jest walka będąc karłem. To podobno jest fajna gra, nie grałem w nią, bo jest ekskluzywem na Oculusa, więc średnio mi się chciało, no. A powiedzmy, że nudna i mega długa. Aha. Co tam?
Asgard's Wrath 2 is an all-new standalone adventure in this epic series.
Okay.
Freed from prison by the Weavers of Fate, you'll set out on a new quest across time and space. From the Norse realms to the deserts of
Jest
ancient
jakie
Egypt.
przejście, to jest więcej pracy niż w
Here
tę
on
grę
the Great
włożono.
Sand
Sorry.
Sea, you'll once again battle gods and creatures of myth to stop Loki from upending all of creation. When the original Asgard's Wrath released on PC VR, it wowed players with its jaw-dropping scale, brutal physics-based combat, and stunning graphics. Asgard's Wrath 2 will set a whole new standard for wireless VR. This is the deep and immersive action
Tak samo się
RPG
zastanawiam, czy to
that you've
jest
been waiting
nakręcone
for.
w tym studiu Sweeneya, w tej kopule, gdzie inteligentna kamera na Unreal Engine 5 generuje głębie i tak dalej na tych wyświetlaczach. Zakładam, że Marek może mieć to pieniądze.
Today, my friend Matt Kramer, head of
Kramer.
design at Sanzaru Games,
Co?
will take us on a tour of the team's groundbreaking title.
Dajcie Zuckerberga, nie chcę.
Everything
No.
you're about to see was captured in game. Matt, the mic's yours.
Jezu, tak dalej.
Thanks, Ruth. I'm so excited to show everyone what we've been working on at Sanzaro these last few years. Asgard's Wrath 2 picks up where the first game left off, in a mysterious tavern you can't escape from. You're suddenly thrust into battle with a giant creature, clearly from another realm. Just when you think all is lost,
To wygląda jak granie na nosie God of Warowi. Tak, bo walczymy z ptakiem, którego wycięli z tamtej tej. Z tamtej gry. Ehe. Co to znaczy?
Not only will you travel through new Asgardian locations, like Muspelheim, the land of fire, the Weavers of Fate will also bring you to new realms, like the vast desert expanse of ancient Egypt.
Egipt,
These
tak?
massive worlds,
Tam nie
beyond the
byli
scope of
inni
any
bogowie?
other game on the MetaQuest platform, come alive in Asgard's Wrath 2. Dotted with temples, caves and dungeons, characters to meet,
Wygląda spoko, no bo przyznaję, że wygląda spoko.
quests and side quests,
Karty.
wildlife, crafting resources,
Czy to jest Zelda na
minigames, and
VR?
more. This is a living world you can roam and explore freely. The most expansive of these worlds is the Great Sand Sea, full of hidden treasures and unique events. You could spend hours upon hours exploring this map and still not discover all its secrets. You might decide to prove your combat prowess by hunting rare, high-level monsters that roam the sands, or gather plants or and animal parts to craft useful consumable goods, such as
Crafting,
bait
uwielbiam.
to attract wildlife, or a ward that provides a temporary AoE benefit wherever you throw it. But it's not all
Powinien
about
być
survival.
mod na
Kick
tego,
back and
na
fish,
Cejrowskiego, którym od razu ci
or beat your
komentuje.
high score
To
at
jest
the Slingshot
kaczka.
shooting gallery.
Jaka głupia.
There's no shortage of stuff to do and see outside the primary quest line. These worlds are so big, you're going to want some more speed as you move through them. Luckily, you'll have the power of a god at your fingertips. As with Asgard's Wrath,
Co za
you'll be
dziwny
able to
konik.
transform a few brave animals into unique warrior followers to help you solve puzzles and eviscerate enemies.
Furasi oszaleją.
New in this game, they'll serve as powerful mounts that can carry you swiftly across the massive
Ale
realms
patenty na
of
rozrywkę mam
Asgard's
fajne.
Wrath 2.
To wygląda spoko, no.
Of course, what's vast on foot or mount can look very different to a god. Like Asgard's Wrath, you'll also see the world from the god-scale perspective.
Tak
And
Jezus
use your
widział świat.
cosmic powers to manipulate the mortal world around you. Reach inaccessible areas, solve puzzles, and more.
Jest bieganie po
Can't
ścianach.
save the world alone, though. Egypt is full of would-be heroes who need your godly assistance to enter the realm of legend. Each hero in Asgard's Wrath 2 is completely unique. Different weapons, different skills and abilities, and different strengths. By possessing these mortals, you can help them fulfill their destinies and get closer to yours as well. The first of these heroes is Abraxas, a cynical tomb robber with a grudge against the gods. You and Abraxas make an unlikely pair,
Gameplay wygląda
but you
spoko.
have to work
Kurde.
together to take down fearsome enemies like the bloodthirsty goddess Sekhmet.
Sekhmet
Abraxas
chyba
seeks
być, nie?
vengeance against Sekhmet for the murder of his father.
Baba przebrana
With
za
his
psa.
boomerang axe, whip sword, and bladed shield at your command, he'll stop at nothing to defeat her. Combat was one of the aspects players loved most about Asgard's Wrath, us included. It was vicious and brutal. Whether swinging a sword, throwing an axe, or even using your fists, the
Nawet
combat
pięści nie
made you
wiele.
feel powerful and skilled. In the first game, the combat favored a defense-first approach, meaning you had to block and parry a series of enemy attacks before you had a chance to remove their runic shields. This loop had to be completed 3 or 4 times before you could start damaging an enemy. In Asgard's Wrath 2, our updated combat system is centered around player choice. Nothing is holding you back. You can chip away at enemy shields through a flurry of attacks or land skilled
kupujemy, to
parries
wyjdzie za
through
rok
your
pewnie
opportunity
dopiero.
windows that
Najgorsze,
let
że
you
to jest
cut
niestety
through your
ekskluzywna
enemy's
questa,
defenses with ease.
więc
We've
niewygodnie
also
będzie to
expanded the
streamować.
systems to include elemental types for a greater degree of player customization and wider variety amongst enemy archetypes. This time, we have a full physics system implemented for weapons. With swords, axes, bows, staffs, and more at your disposal, you can find a combat style that's right for you. But you'll need to change up your approach, as enemies will now react to your every movement and switch up their own attacks. You'll also unlock new skills and abilities as you level up, letting you invest further in the weapons you use most.
Czy ty jesteśmy jakąś bozią, która się wciela w sieroty, które rozumiem są klasami po prostu. Brzmi spoko.
You'll also discover relics you can slot into your weapons and armor that will provide you with powerful buffs, like adding fire damage to your weapon or heal over time, allowing you to customize your weapon set against each enemy you face. But you won't be the only one leveling up. Your animal followers have their own skill trees and will grow in power the more you spend time with them. Even with an upgraded companion and all these powers at your disposal, don't think the enemy AI will go easy on you. As you level up, so will they, gaining new abilities, smarter tactics, sneaky counters, stronger armor, powerful super attacks, and relics to use against you. Some will even heal each other, boost each other's damage, or call for reinforcements. You'll have to use all the strength, endurance, speed, and quick thinking you can muster
Zakładam, że to jest grafika z
to forge
Questa
a
3.
path through the
swoją drogą.
ravenous enemies that lay between you and your destiny. For a true challenge and the opportunity to earn bragging rights amongst your friends, you can step into the Uncharted Rifts, an infinitely replayable dungeon
wygląda jak dobra gra
with exclusive loot that you
kombajnowa,
can
czyli
take back
kilka
with
widzę
you
trybów jest
into the
fajnych.
main campaign. The rifts are always open, so you can visit at any point during or even after the campaign and put your skills against some of the toughest time-limited challenges the rifts have to offer. Face increasingly ferocious enemies as you delve deeper into these endless labyrinths, encountering the ghosts of players who fell victim to the rifts before you. Whether friend or foe, these specters will be part of your dungeon, helping or hindering your progress. Survive long enough, and you'll earn a spot on the leaderboards and those precious bragging rights. The Uncharted Rifts are deep and full of mystery. They're almost like a whole game on their own, and we've barely scratched the surface of all the unique dangers you'll encounter. I hope that this first look at Asgard's Wrath 2 has you excited. We've got so much more to show you. More heroes, more companions, more gods, Loki anomalies. I can't wait to show you more. Back to you, Ruth.
Nie, Jezu, nie, było już w miarę dobrze, a teraz niestety. Okej, kiedy będzie ten gość taki śmieszny?
Now head over
bogaty?
to the MetaQuest store because pre-orders of Asgard's Wrath 2
Uwielbiam
are
spać prawdę,
open.
Jezu.
Pre-order, and you'll get a copy of the original Asgard's Wrath on PC. You don't have to play it before, but it'll add some fun context.
Czy można spreorderować,
You'll also
dostać
get
i oddać?
immediate access to
Ciekawe.
the great Sand Sea home environment I'm standing in now, and unlock an exclusive Asgard's Wrath 2 themed character, as well as the title of Cosmic Guardian in Population 1. And once Asgard's Wrath 2 launches later this year, those who pre-ordered will get access to the Sword of Ra
Wow.
and the Sun God's battle armor.
A dla konia będzie też coś? O, takie przejście, a?
That's the end of our main showcase. But stick around for more, because up next, we have some of the most passionate VR creators sitting down to discuss the games from the show. And while you're there, we're running a sale on favorites like NFL Pro Era, Resident Evil 4, Bone Lab, Among Us, and many more. And like last year, we're also giving away this awesome room I'm standing in. It's available now in settings under Home Environments. Of course, there's so much more we want to share with you. We plan to announce more games, major updates to existing titles, and we've got a whole new headset to launch. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thanks to the developers who helped put this show together. Keep playing, and we'll see you next year.
Gdzie ten cały koleś, co miał ten... Dobra, czyli ściemniał, skurczysyn. Żeby odwrócić uwagę od tego.
I'm going to be in so
Steve'a,
much trouble with this
sio.
leaks, but this actually looks a lot like Quest 6. The Ecto 1? Oh yeah, that's
Jezu,
still parked in my place.
nie, są te...
No, they're not getting it back.
Okej, na szczęście nie mieli tego dużo, tych śmiesznych blooperów.
Hi everyone.
Co tam?
I'm Travis Williams, head of production at Oculus Publishing.
Daj tego
We hope you
gościa...
enjoyed our showcase and are excited for all the awesome games. We gathered some of our talented developers and your favorite VR content creators to talk a bit more about two of them. Asgard's Wrath 2
Nie
and
chcę.
Ghostbusters,
Nie
Rise
chcę.
of
Dobra,
Ghostbusters.
kończymy.
First up is Asgard's Wrath 2.
Jest jaka
the massive
wywiadówka.
RPG coming to Quest later this year from Sanzero Games. Let's meet our guest. Matt Kramer is the studio creative director at Sanzero Games and a good friend of mine. What's up, Travis?
Nie, dobra, to jest zbyt dużo jak dla mnie. Ej, jak Marek wróci, to wołajcie. Wracamy do Noity. Myślałem, że Jasmine, a to jest Jasmine, okej, dobra.
A.k.a. a wolf in VR.
That's me.
That's me.
And Thomas, a.k.a. Voodoo, D.E.
Ej, wszyscy mają
Thank you all so much
pseudonimy.
for being here.
Jest
You
taki
guys have
ten...
just seen our reveal trailer and gameplay walkthrough.
Dobra, nie.
I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but first, I'm going to kick things off with a question to
No.
Matt. What led your studio from the first game to Asgard's Wrath 2?
Well, you know, the first
Tak,
game...
tak, tak. Jak to jest napisać bestseller? Masakra.